The ballroom shimmered beneath towering crystal chandeliers, where every polished glass reflected wealth, ambition, and carefully rehearsed smiles. More than 100 distinguished guests mingled beneath the golden lights, raising expensive wine and discussing billion-dollar mergers as though changing the world were merely another item on their evening agenda. At the far end of the hall, a quiet man in a perfectly tailored but understated charcoal suit stepped through the entrance without drawing attention to himself. His name was Ethan Hayes, though almost no one in the room recognized him. That was exactly how he preferred it. Unlike the executives who measured success by how loudly they announced it, Ethan believed true power never needed to introduce itself. He accepted a glass of sparkling water from a passing server and calmly observed the room. Every conversation, every handshake, every calculated smile revealed something about the people gathered there. He wasn't simply attending the gala, he was evaluating the leadership team of Greystone Holdings before signing the final approval on a confidential $1 billion partnership that would either transform the company forever or quietly disappear before sunrise. The board had no idea that the mysterious investor whose approval they desperately needed had decided to attend anonymously. They expected someone surrounded by assistants, security guards, and luxury vehicles. Instead, the man holding their future stood alone, almost invisible among the crowd. Across the ballroom, CEO Victor Langston confidently entertained investors with exaggerated stories of his success while his ambitious daughter, Vanessa, criticized everything she saw with effortless arrogance. She believed elegance was measured by price tags and influenced by the number of people afraid to disagree with her. As Ethan slowly walked toward the buffet, Vanessa noticed him immediately. She frowned at his simple wristwatch, his lack of designer logos, and the quiet confidence that somehow irritated her more than open arrogance ever could. "Who invited him?" she whispered to one of the executives beside her. "He looks completely out of place." The executive shrugged nervously, assuming Ethan must have been a consultant or a forgotten guest. Vanessa rolled her eyes before deciding someone needed to remind the stranger that this evening was reserved for people who mattered. She intercepted Ethan near the dessert table, forcing a polished smile that barely concealed her contempt. "Excuse me," she said sweetly, "the staff entrance is around the back. Guests are enjoying a private event." Ethan looked at her calmly, neither offended nor intimidated. "Thank you," he replied with a gentle smile. "But I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be." His quiet confidence caught Vanessa off guard. She expected embarrassment, perhaps an apology, not composure. Before she could respond, several executives approached, and she laughed loudly enough for nearby guests to hear. "Confidence is admirable," she said sarcastically, "but pretending to belong doesn't make you important." Small groups nearby chuckled, eager to remain on the CEO's daughter's good side. Ethan simply nodded, refusing to argue. He understood that dignity often spoke louder than pride. Watching from a distance, an elderly waiter named Samuel noticed everything. Having worked elite events for nearly 40 years, he had learned that kindness revealed character far more reliably than expensive suits ever could. He quietly approached Ethan with a fresh glass of water. "Sir," Samuel said respectfully, "please let me know if you need anything." Ethan smiled warmly. "Thank you. You've probably shown me more hospitality tonight than anyone else." Samuel smiled back, unaware that this simple moment would soon change his own life forever. Meanwhile, Victor Langston stepped onto the stage, thanking everyone for attending what he proudly called the beginning of a new era. He spoke confidently about innovation, integrity, and respect, words that earned enthusiastic applause despite sounding strangely hollow after what had just happened. Ethan listened silently, studying every sentence, every expression, every reaction in the room. The speech confirmed more than financial reports ever could. Leadership wasn't measured during presentations, it was revealed in everyday moments when no one believed they were being evaluated. As applause echoed through the ballroom, servers began circulating with crystal glasses filled with rare vintage wine worth thousands of dollars per bottle. Vanessa accepted one and continued laughing with several influential guests. Spotting Ethan once again standing quietly near a marble pillar, she decided humiliating him publicly would entertain the crowd. She walked confidently across the ballroom, intentionally brushing against him with exaggerated surprise. Her glass tilted sharply. Deep crimson wine splashed across Ethan's immaculate suit jacket, dripping onto the polished marble floor. Gasps rippled through the room before silence settled over the crowd. Vanessa looked at the ruined suit for a split second, then burst into laughter. "Oh my goodness," she mocked dramatically. "I suppose that's the closest you'll ever get to tasting a bottle worth $10,000. Laughter erupted from dozens of guests desperate to impress the CEO's family. Some shook their heads dismissively while others secretly recorded the humiliation on their phones. No one stepped forward to help. No one except Samuel, who hurried over with clean towels, apologizing even though he had done nothing wrong. Ethan accepted the towel with sincere gratitude. "Thank you," he said softly. "Please don't worry. Accidents reveal more about people than intentions ever do." Samuel froze, sensing those words carried a meaning far deeper than anyone else realized. Around the ballroom, whispers spread rapidly. Some guests pitied the quiet stranger. Others dismissed him as another ordinary man who had wandered into the wrong world. None of them knew that before midnight, every assumption they had made about power, respect, and success would be shattered in front of all 100 guests. And as Ethan calmly removed his stained jacket without the slightest trace of anger, a discreet notification lit up the phone in his pocket. The message contained only 6 words: "Board members have arrived. Awaiting your signal."